Hey folks, howdy. Today's video is on things that folks found helpful in the recovery after the ICU. So surgery, you go to the cardiac ICU unit, and then you go to the, to the recovery floor after that, whatever they call it. So this is stuff that folks found useful in that environment. Again, I did basically a poll of the Facebook group for heart valve surgery, and this is what folks responded with. Now, a couple of caveats. Most folks didn't use 90% of what they brought. So this list is huge, but you need to approach it with the concept of what am I really going to use if I'm really not feeling well? Okay, if I'm just, I call it sort of turning inside. If I'm turning inside and just trying to heal, how engaged am I going to be in social media? How much time do I want to spend surfing the web? How many books do I plan to read? Things like that. Remember that in the recovery floor, they're going to get you up and walking every so often. They want you to sit in a chair. They're going to want you to use your incentive spirometer a lot. They're going to be in, there's going to be a lot of activity other than you just sitting there waiting to be let go and go home. So with that in mind, think about what you really are going to want. And we'll go through some of these issues, but in my mind, my goal is I have a packing cube that's about that big, it's about that thick, and that's what, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't come. And that's just it. I'm going to try to pack and prepare myself for that amount. Plus, my wife is going to be there every day. She's in a hotel room just a little bit outside of the hospital, at least for the initial few days. And so, there'll be this steady, back and forth. So it's not like I'm going to run out of things, but you need to think about what's going to be best for you and what's going to fit your scenario. Again, this is a really long list, and most of the people didn't use 90% of what they brought. But some of these may speak to you and may speak to some things that you're considering. High on everybody's list was chapstick. And so I think that's a really small no-brainer. That's easy to bring. Chapstick, Carmex, whatever it is that you like to use, bring some of that in with you to recovery. Some folks really liked their own robe, especially when it came to walking around the floor, because the hospital gown is kind of open in the back. However, other folks just grabbed a second hospital gown and threw it over their shoulders to cover their backside. So, one way, the other, bathrobes are big and thick and furry and comfortable, but, you can certainly go with, like, I don't own a bathrobe and never worn them. I think the last time I had a bathrobe around was in a cruise and I never took it off the hook. So just to let you know where I'm coming from, I'm going to be borrowing a second hospital gown. Phone charger with extra long cables. Some people have said that their bed actually had a plug. My thought, and I'm sort of a tech-ish, not tech-y, but tech-ish geek, is everything's transversing, transferring over to USB-C. So if all of your plugs are USB-C, 9 chances out of 10, even if there's a plug on your bed, it's going to be the USB-A. So, which plug-in do you bring? So they make 10-foot long charging cables for all of your electronics. So why not go out right now and get yourself an extra long charging cable so that you can plug your plug your phone in anywhere you need to in order to keep it charged up, because I'm sure your family and friends are going to want to at least hear from you and all of that. And you're certainly going to be, you're encouraged when you see their pictures and things like that. So extra long charging cable. And again, and I'll try to put a link in the description below. Earlier, we talked about how to prep for surgery, and we talked about charging your devices. We have these little backpack batteries that carry like a charge and a half for your phone. MagSafe, they slap on, charge your phone, no problem. So you might want to bring one of those as well. Pajama bottoms or a pair of loose shorts. Again, we have that, wide open in the back thing going on with the hospital gown. So a pair of shorts that would fit loosely, because you are going to have incisions in your thigh for the heart-lung machine. So something that will fit, that's easy to pull up. It may keep you warm. So pajama bottoms or loose-fitting shorts would be kind of nice to have. Loose-fitting button-down shirts, especially for your escape day, your discharge day. Now, I'm going to take that a step further. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt on my way out the door. In fact, I'll show you a picture of the Hawaiian shirt at the end of this that I plan on wearing. It's loose fit, it fits all the markers. It's short sleeve, so you can get your arms through easy. Buttons up the front. It's loose fitting. To me, it just screams Hawaiian shirt. So I highly recommend, if you don't own a Hawaiian shirt, go out and get one, because I think every heart surgery patient should roll out the door celebrating with a Hawaiian shirt on. That's just me. Some people talked about replacing the hospital grippy socks with their own. There's a bunch of different manufacturers out there. I personally picked up some based on a recommendation from somebody from the website. I picked up a set of Bombas grippy socks. I'll put a link down in the description below. Now, Bombas aren't cheap, and but what happens is when you buy socks from Bombas, they donate an identical pair of socks to the needy. So, they're not cheap, but they come with a good social conscience. So there you go. But there's other grippy socks out there. And it's just because the hospital grippy socks are really kind of thin. They've got grip on the top and the bottom, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. But, it's just a comfort item. Let's see. Oh, good grippy slippers. Again, when you're in recovery, one of the things that helps you recover is getting up and walking. Getting up and walking is going to move a lot of the fluid that you're retaining around. It's going to get your circulatory system moving. It's going to, cause you to breathe. One of the things they want you to do is to continue this deep breathing so that you can, so that you forestall any development of pneumonia or anything like that. So, a good pair of grippy slippers, not super slides, but grippy slippers are recommended, especially for those walks around the floor and keeping your feet warm. Your own pillow. Hospitals provide pillows, but they might not be as comfy as yours. If you have somebody who can help and bring stuff to the hospital in your recovery room, then having your own pillow just might be something that helps you get some good sleep. The hospital should provide you with a V-shaped pillow if you have a sternotomy. If you don't, get a V-shaped pillow or a good firm pillow that you can grab a hold of for when you're coughing, when you're trying to move, sit up and sit down, those kinds of things. Grabbing a hold of that pillow, crossing your arms, and holding on tight when you cough or when you're trying to get up out of a chair, those kinds of things that can really help out. A good piece of advice here was ask for pain medication before they pull your drains. We're all going to have chest tube drains on the side, and they're going to come in and pull those things out. It was recommended that you request maybe 30 minutes prior to them coming and taking the chest tubes out. you ask for a dose of your pain meds just so that you can handle that a little bit better. Earplugs or noise canceling earplugs, or, whatever, earmuffs, to help block out all the hospital noises. So there's going to be a lot of noise in the hospital. I mean, there's machines that beep and bonk, and there's people walking up and down the hallways all the time. The lights are on in the hallway all the time. And so it's not the best place to get a good night's sleep. So having some noise canceling earphones can really help drown out some of that background noise and keep that from disturbing your sleep. And if they're noise canceling, you can still hear the nurse and the staff when they come in and talk to you, because those things don't cancel out speech. They just cancel out, background hum and that kind of stuff. So that's good. Or you just go with a set of earplugs. And they make a bunch of different kinds. Maybe the wax ones would be the easiest, because you don't really have to try to get them all pinpointed and shove them in your ear canal. You can just use them and form them over your ear. And that's a little bit less time with your hand up trying to do something. So that's an option as well. And they sit a little more flush. So that if you end up sleeping on your side, if that's possible, with a sternotomy, it might not be possible, but that way you don't have any pain from something pushing in on your ear. An eye mask to help you sleep. The hospital provides you the same thing that the airline provides you, where there's little thin, eye mask things that snap onto your face. You can get higher quality ones online. But what I would recommend, because I don't normally sleep with one, is that you take it out and practice with it. So you don't wake up, suddenly it's pitch dark and you can't figure out why you can't see, and, you start to panic. Practice with it. Know what it's like to sleep with it on. Get some, be confident in its use before you decide to just take one to the hospital and throw it on and see what happens. A water bottle or a cup that you prefer to drink from versus the hospital one. They're going to want you to consume fluids. So, excuse me, if you have the famous pink Stanley cup or any other kind of water bottle that you prefer, go ahead and bring that if you like. That's something that you're going to use the whole time that you're there. A white noise maker. Again, we're talking about hospitals being busy places, lots of noise in the background. If you don't have noise canceling earbuds, a white noise maker is a really handy thing. I know my wife and I use an ocean, a thing that just mimics the ocean in our room. And it's just a nice background bit of white noise that helps drown out everything else, and can be very useful in helping you go to sleep and stay asleep. Someone recommended a fan just to help move the air around in the room. Now, you don't have lots of room, you don't have lots of space, but a small fan wouldn't be a bad idea to have. Again, there's a lot of things on this list. Not all of them need to come. But a fan was something that people recommended. A shawl or a scarf to put over your shoulders to help keep you warm. Again, hospital gowns have that opening on the shoulder. They're kind of open, and they're definitely open in the back. So a shawl or a scarf would certainly help you stay warm while you're sitting around, because the blanket's only going to go so far. So, that's a nice idea. You will put on water weight. Everybody who responded talked about the water weight that they put on. So you want, on discharge day, you want to have loose-fitting pants, loose-fitting shirt, loose-fitting shoes that you can slide your feet into easy. Remember, you don't want to spend a whole lot of time bent over trying to tie shoes or anything else. So if you can have a good pair of slides that have a little bit of a heel to them. I know Skechers makes some that you can just slide your feet into. But a good pair of loose-fitting or stretchy, whatever you want to call it, shoes to for your discharge. And I mean, truly, there's no reason why you wouldn't wear those as you're making your laps around the hospital every day. That's not a bad thing either. Wet wipes. So both in the, get flushable wipes, right, for the bathroom, but also wet wipes just to, wash yourself off with, wipe your hands down, do that kind of stuff, just some daily maintenance stuff without having to take a shower or without, in the middle of the day needing all the support for to get a shower. But wet wipes were recommended. Moisturizer. Not only your lips are not the only thing that's going to be chapped and dry. So if you use a moisturizer or use one a lot, that's was a recommendation. Your own self-care items. So the hospital has all this stuff, has toothbrushes, toothpaste, razors, shaving cream, that kind of stuff. But if you have your favorite stuff, why not bring it? A little travel kit isn't a bad idea of just the stuff, because part of this recovery is psychological. Part of the speed of your recovery is beginning to feel more and more like you. And little things contribute to that. Little things like, your own toiletries, being able to put some clothes on, or being able to put your own, pajama bottoms on, or have your own bathrobe. Some of the things that make you, not a bad thing to have around. A mirror. You don't think about it, but it's just a handy mirror to have in the room, because the only other mirror is going to be the one that you have to walk over to the bathroom to see, right? So a mirror is not a bad idea. This is one that my wife and I worked on a couple weeks ago. We went to TJ Maxx, and I was given the task of wandering through the snack aisle and pulling down a variety of different snacks so that we could create a thank you basket for the nursing staff. So we have a basket for the nursing staff in the CICU, and we have a basket for the nursing staff in the recovery unit. And it's all hand grabbed snacks. So it's, dark chocolate covered almonds, and, dark chocolate covered blueberries, and granola. And I mean, there's some chocolate in there, some variety chocolates and things like that. But it's all just very hand grab, quick. Nurses are always on the go, but it's a way to say thank you for taking care of us. And if you do this before, then you're not scrambling during to try to find a way to say thank you to the staff. So we already have those baskets made up, and I think I'm running a video of them so you can see what they look like. And they're not, we got the baskets at TJ Maxx. We got 90% of the food, of the little, hand grab snacky stuff at TJ Maxx. So it wasn't really expensive. And ladies, it gives you an excuse to go to TJ Maxx. So there you go. Leave your rings and jewelry at home. So when you get ready to go in, make sure your wedding ring and your watch and that kind of stuff is either left at home, left with a loved one, or whatever. You don't need any jewelry during recovery. That's just the way it is. Chains and those kinds of things not needed. Peppermint lozenges. And I'm a chronic chewer of those monster lifesavers, but anything like that to help you just refresh your mouth, help you feel better, help you feel cleaner, and take over whatever halitosis you've got. If you're not getting to the bathroom and brushing your teeth on a regular basis, this thing can really be a stopgap. Plus, it keeps your mouth moist and keeps you going. So those are some of the items that folks identified as being important for the recovery, things that made their recovery smoother or easier. And, take them all with a grain of salt. Apply only the ones to you that you think really are going to matter. remember that a lot of folks said they brought all this stuff and they didn't use 90% of it. Folks brought iPads and their phone and a book and all this stuff, and they basically only opened their phone up to keep in touch with their loved ones, and that was it. So they brought a lot of stuff for their recovery and they didn't use hardly any of it. So understand that this list is just out there for you to personalize and identify what you think would be best. So I hope this finds you well, and I've got some links to put up for you and a quick shot of my my escape day, my discharge day Hawaiian shirt. All right, have a great day, and God bless.